Picture this. It's a cold night, thousands of years ago. A small fire glows in the dark, and two people sit beside it, shoulder to shoulder, sharing warmth. They are not a man and a woman. They are two friends, maybe more. And here's the strange part. Nobody around the fire seems to care. Wait, did that really happen? Did ancient humans love the same gender? Tonight, let's find out. And the answer might surprise you. This is not a story about politics. It's not a story about today's arguments. It's a story about us, about where we came from, and about a feeling so old, it lived inside our ancestors before they ever built a single house. Meet our guide, a simple stickman, no name, no fancy clothes, just a curious little human like you and me. Tonight, he's going to walk us deep into the past, to ask one big, very human question. Did people, long ago, ever fall in love with someone of the same gender? Now, here's the honest truth. We can't ask them. Prehistoric humans didn't write books, they didn't keep diaries, they left no love letters in the dirt. So how could we ever know? Well, researchers have clues, and those clues are everywhere. Let's start with something simple: animals. For a long time, people believed that love and nature had only one job: make babies. That's it, nothing more. But then scientists actually sat down and watched, for years, in forests, in oceans, in open grasslands. And what they saw changed everything. In more than 1,500 animal species, researchers have recorded same-sex affection: penguins, dolphins, lions, giraffes, even sheep. These animals form bonds, they build nests together, they protect each other, and many of them never have babies at all. They simply choose to be close. In some zoos, two male penguins have paired up, built a nest, and even cared for an egg together. They became loving parents, and the world watched, amazed. But one animal stands out the most: the bonobo. Bonobos are one of our closest living relatives. We share almost all of our DNA with them. Look into a bonobo's eyes, and you might feel like you're looking at a strange, distant cousin. And bonobos are famous for one thing: they use affection to keep the peace. When bonobos are stressed, they don't fight. They reach out, they hug, they bond. Male with male, female with female. And just like that, the whole group calms down. For bonobos, closeness is not only about reproduction, it's about belonging. It's the glue that holds the family together. And here's the thing: if our closest cousins do this, our ancestors very likely did too. Think about it. We didn't invent affection, we inherited it. It was already deep inside us, long before the first word was ever spoken. But let's be fair and honest. We have to be careful here. We cannot peek into the heart of someone who lived 30,000 years ago. We can't read their thoughts. We can't know exactly who they loved or how. Stones don't talk, bones keep their secrets. So when researchers study the deep past, they don't shout. They whisper. They say things like, "This is possible, this is likely, this makes sense." And that honesty is exactly why their clues matter so much. Now let's leave the animals, and let's go meet the humans. Imagine a small tribe, 40 people, maybe 50. They hunt together, they sleep close for warmth, they share every single meal. In a group that small, survival depends on one thing: bonds. Strong bonds, deep trust, people who would walk into danger for each other without thinking twice. And love. Love came in many shapes. Researchers who study old hunter-gatherer cultures have found something beautiful. In many of these groups, same-sex affection was simply normal, not shameful, not hidden, just a quiet part of everyday life. Think about that for a second. No labels, no rules, no judgment, just people, caring about people. And here is a gentle reminder: love back then was not only about romance. In a tiny tribe, your survival was tied to the people beside you, the person who watched your back, the person who shared their last piece of meat, the person who held you when the night grew cold and frightening. Those bonds were everything. And sometimes, those bonds grew into something deeper, something we would instantly recognize today as love. Picture two young hunters. They grew up together. They learned to track animals together. They survived their first brutal winter together. Over the years, something quiet grew between them. A bond deeper than friendship. And in their world, nobody told them it was wrong. It just was. And some of those people were seen as something special. In many Native American cultures, there was a respected role. Today we often call it two-spirit. These were people who were believed to carry both a masculine and a feminine spirit inside them. They were not pushed away. They were honored. They became healers, teachers, keepers of stories, bridges between two worlds. That tradition is old, very old, and it whispers a powerful message across time. Different forms of love are not new. They are ancient. Our little stickman is starting to understand. The past was not as cold as we imagined. Let's keep going. Let's step out of the prehistoric world for a moment and look at the very first humans who could actually write things down. Around 4,000 years ago, in ancient Egypt, two men were buried together. Their names were Niankunknum and Khnumhotep. Their tomb is stunning. It shows them standing close, nose to nose, holding hands, in a tender pose that was usually saved only for married couples. Now, historians still debate what their bond truly was. Were they partners? Were they brothers? Were they twins? We may never know for certain. But look at the image. It is gentle, it is loving, and it survived, untouched, for 4,000 years. Then there is a discovery in Italy. People call them simply the lovers. Two skeletons, buried hand in hand, side by side. For years, everyone assumed it was a man and a woman, frozen together in one last embrace. But then scientists tested the bones, and both of them were male. We don't know their story. We can't say if it was love, or friendship, or family. But we know one thing for sure. Someone, long ago, chose to lay them down together, holding hands, for eternity. Our stickman goes quiet, because some things don't need explaining. Two people, one grave, hands locked together, even in death. Whatever they were to each other, it was strong enough to last forever. And then there's ancient Greece. In Greece, certain kinds of same-sex affection were not hidden at all. They were woven into the culture, into poetry, into art, into stories of warriors and heroes. The Greeks wrote openly about deep love between people of the same gender. They saw it as part of life, part of honor, part of being human. So this is not some modern invention. It is thousands of years old, and it has been carved into stone, shaped into clay, and sung in songs all over the world. And it doesn't stop there. From ancient India to the islands of the Pacific to old African kingdoms, history is full of quiet hints. Different cultures, different lands, different times. Yet the same gentle truth keeps appearing, again and again. Love finds a way, it always has. So what does all of this really mean? It means love has never been simple, and it has certainly never been new. For most of human history, people did not split love into neat little boxes. They felt warmth, they felt closeness, they felt drawn to certain people. And very often, that was just accepted as part of being alive. Here is something many people don't realize. A lot of the strict rules about who we should love came much, much later. They arrived with empires, with new religions, with new laws and new fears. The deep past was, in many ways, far more open than we ever imagined. Now picture our stickman one more time, sitting by that ancient fire. Beside him is someone he cares about. We don't know their gender, and honestly, back then, it might not have mattered at all. What mattered was the cold night, the shared food, the crackling flames, and the simple feeling of not being alone in a dangerous world. Because under all the science, all the bones, all the cave art, there is one simple truth. Humans need each other. We always have. We hold hands when we're scared. We sit close when we're cold. We reach for warmth wherever we can find it. And we love who we love. We didn't learn this from books. We didn't learn it from rules. It was already there, written deep inside us, passed down through countless generations, sitting around countless fires. That need, that deep, warm human need, is older than language, older than villages, older than history itself. So, did ancient humans love the same gender? The honest answer is, very likely yes. In their own ways, in their own time. They didn't have our words for it. They didn't have our flags, or our labels, or our long debates, but they had the feeling, the pull, the warmth of another heart beside theirs. And maybe that is the most human thing of all. Because love, in every single form, has been sitting by the fire with us since the very beginning. Our little stickman knew it all along. And now, so do you. If this story made you feel something, stay by the fire a little longer. Hit that subscribe button and sit with us. There are so many more strange, true tales about the ancient humans who were a lot more like us than we ever thought.